Hey everyone, welcome to our Salesforce Business Analyst series. It's Max from Certify Advantage here. I have just spent 32 hours straight working through the Salesforce Business Analyst credential prep using the trail mixes on Trailhead so you don't have to. I have also completed all the practice tests and passed the exam. With that, I am going to summarize and teach you everything you need to know using some questions that I found on the exam so that you have a solid foundation to pass. Also, if you would like to check out the practice tests I use, check out our platform, Certify Advantage, for free practice tests. With this test, there are 6 key topics you need to master to ace the exam. In today's video, we're diving into development support and user acceptance questions, which make up 12% of the Salesforce Business Analyst certification exam. This section will teach you how to validate project delivery to ensure the solution meets the requirements. It will also teach you how to validate user acceptance testing, UAT. Are you ready? Let's get started. Question 1. CloudKix has moved into the quality assurance QA phase of Salesforce product configuration and extension. The QA team is now trying to confirm it has delivered value to stakeholders based on business requirements. The team is asking questions such as, did we build the right product? And did we build the product right? Which element should the business analyst use to help the QA team validate that the product fulfilled the requirements without ambiguity? A. Process maps. B. User stories. C. Acceptance criteria. To help the QA team validate that the product fulfills the requirements without ambiguity, the business analyst should use C. Acceptance criteria. Process maps are valuable for visualizing and understanding business processes, but they may not provide the detailed, specific criteria needed for validation during the QA phase. User stories provide a narrative description of a feature from an end user's perspective, but they may not capture all the detailed conditions and criteria required for testing and validation. Acceptance criteria are explicit conditions that must be met for a user story to be considered complete. They define the expected behavior and outcomes of a feature or product. During the QA phase, acceptance criteria serve as a concrete basis for testing, ensuring that the product meets the specified requirements. Well-defined acceptance criteria help eliminate ambiguity, providing clear guidelines for the QA team to confirm whether the product has been built correctly. Question 2. Northern Trail Outfitters launched a new feature on its Experience Cloud site to allow customers to compare features of similar products ahead of the major promotional event of the year. The user acceptance testing, UAT, passed successfully. However, many customers complained of issues when accessing the site. What did the business analyst overlook before recommending that the release go live? A. The UAT should have been performed with enough time to resolve bugs in the new feature. B. The UAT should have been performed with both peak load and average load simulation. C. The UAT should have been performed by customers who are familiar with the products. B is the correct answer because it suggests that the UAT should have been performed with both peak load and average load simulation. This means that the website should have been tested under the conditions in which it is expected to be used during the major promotional event of the year, as well as under normal conditions. This would have helped to identify and resolve any issues related to site performance and accessibility before launching the new feature. A is incorrect because it suggests that the issue was related to not having enough time to resolve bugs, which may or may not be the case. The primary issue may have been related to performance or accessibility, rather than bugs that needed to be fixed. C is also incorrect because it suggests that the issue was related to customers not being familiar with the products, which is unlikely to be the case if the UAT passed successfully. The issue is more likely to be related to the site's performance or accessibility under peak load conditions. Question 3. Northern Trail Outfitters is getting ready to enter the user acceptance testing, UAT phase of its latest Salesforce project. The business analyst, BA, plans to solicit and document sign-offs from the business as part of the UAT process. Which sign-offs should the BA seek? A. Test cases to implement, individual test case functionality, and final go live date. B. Test cases to implement, user stories, and final go live date. C. Functional requirements, individual test case functionality, and final go live date. The answer is C. Functional requirements, individual test case functionality, and final go live date. During the user acceptance testing at UAT phase, the business analyst, BA, should seek sign-offs on the following. Functional requirements. This ensures that the business stakeholders agree that the implemented solution meets their specified functional requirements. Individual test case functionality. The BA should seek sign-offs on individual test cases to confirm that the tested functionality aligns with the expected outcomes and meets the business requirements. Final go-live date. It is important to obtain sign-off on the final go-live date from the business stakeholders to ensure their agreement and commitment to the project timeline. By seeking sign-offs on functional requirements, individual test case functionality, and the final go-live date, the BA ensures that the business stakeholders are actively engaged in the UAT process, agree on the system's functionality, and are committed to the project timeline for a successful implementation. Question 4. The business analyst, BA, is preparing for user acceptance testing, UAT, for Northern Trail Outfitters' new Service Cloud implementation. The BA secured the sandbox for the testing environment, wrote test cases, and created a process to track and manage reported bugs. Which additional step is required during the UAT planning process? A. Identify power users. B. Schedule deployment. C. Gather business requirements. The correct answer is A. Identify power users. Salesforce's documentation on user acceptance testing, UAT, emphasizes the importance of identifying power users during the UAT planning process. These are the end users who will be most impacted by the new system and who will provide the most valuable feedback during testing. Option B, schedule deployment, is not a necessary step during the UAT planning process. This is typically done after the UAT is completed and any issues have been resolved. Option C, gather business requirements, is also not a necessary step during the UAT planning process, as this should have been completed during the initial planning phases of the Service Cloud implementation. Question 5. A business analyst, BA, at Northern Trail Outfitters is preparing for a user acceptance testing, UAT session for a global Sales Cloud project. What should the BA do to engage the business most effectively during UAT? A. Hand over ownership for writing, reviewing, and executing UAT scenarios, providing feedback and approval for release to business stakeholders. B. Work with quality assurance analysts to collaborate in writing, reviewing, and executing UAT scenarios, providing feedback and approval for release. C. Work with business stakeholders to collaborate in writing, reviewing, and executing UAT scenarios, providing feedback and approval for release. To engage the business most effectively during user acceptance testing, UAT, for a global Sales Cloud project, the business analyst should consider C. Work with business stakeholders to collaborate in writing, reviewing, and executing UAT scenarios, providing feedback and approval for release. Option A suggests handing over ownership of UAT scenarios to business stakeholders. While involving business stakeholders is crucial, simply handing over ownership might result in a lack of collaboration and understanding between the business and the project team. Effective engagement involves active collaboration throughout the UAT process. With option B, collaborating with quality assurance analysts is important for testing, but UAT should primarily involve business stakeholders who have a direct understanding of their business processes and requirements. Quality assurance analysts may contribute to the technical aspects of testing, but business stakeholders should be actively involved. Option C emphasizes collaboration with business stakeholders in writing, reviewing, and executing UAT scenarios. Engaging with the actual end users and business owners during UAT ensures that the testing aligns with their expectations and requirements. This approach fosters better communication, understanding, and ownership of the UAT process by the business. Question 6. The business analyst at Universal Containers is helping the team transition from workflow rules to flows. The work has been built and it is time to kick off user acceptance testing, UAT. What is the goal of UAT? A. To ensure what was originally requested is being delivered. B. Summarize the overall ask and determine what is in scope. C. To identify acceptance criteria with pass-fail indicators. A is the correct answer because user acceptance testing, UAT, is performed to ensure that the system meets the requirements and expectations of the business users. It is done to validate that the solution delivered meets the original requirements and that it is fit for purpose. Option B is incorrect because UAT is not used to summarize the overall ask or determine what is in scope, but rather to validate the solution against the original requirements. Option C is partially correct, as identifying acceptance criteria with pass-fail indicators is indeed a component of UAT. However, it doesn't fully capture the overall goal of UAT, which is to ensure that the delivered solution meets the original requirements and is fit for purpose. Question 7. A business analyst, BA, is coordinating a user acceptance testing, UAT, session focused on Service Cloud enhancements. Which resource is critical for the BA to include in UAT? A. Quality assurance testers. B. System developers. C. Support agents. A is the correct answer because quality assurance testers are essential for conducting user acceptance testing, UAT, sessions. Quality assurance testers are responsible for testing the functionality of the system to ensure it meets the business requirements and user expectations. In this scenario, the BA is coordinating a UAT session focused on Service Cloud enhancements, which means that the quality assurance testers play a critical role in identifying any issues or defects in the enhancements before they are deployed to production. B and C are incorrect answers because system developers and support agents may not have the specific testing skills and expertise needed for UAT sessions. System developers are responsible for building and developing the enhancements, not testing them. Support agents may not have the necessary testing experience or knowledge to effectively participate in UAT sessions. Therefore, quality assurance testers are the most critical resource to include in UAT sessions for ensuring the successful implementation of Service Cloud enhancements. Did you get them right? Great job tackling those questions. Those are just a subsection of the exam questions. You can find more similar exam questions in our free practice tests on CertifyAdvantage.com. If you found this video helpful and want more content like this, follow us and send us a message. We'd love to hear from you and help you on your certification journey. Reach out, follow us, and let's ace this exam together.